All right, welcome to this explainer. If you've ever dealt with traditional debt collection, you know it absolutely feels like a rigged game, right? You're reacting, you're stressing out, and you're forced to play by the bank's rules on their turf. But what if you could completely flip the board? What if you could take a standard, stressful debt collection process and transform it into a profitable, asset-anchored wealth-building event? Well, today, we're going to explore exactly how to do that using the SEP Protocol, the Special Event Escrow and Payment Protocol running within the Private Sovereign Treasury Operating System, or PSTOS.
Here's our roadmap for exactly how this 30 to 90-day strategy mathematically and legally unfolds. We're going to cover activating the protocol, the 90-day escrow shield, generating dividends, the 2 paths to victory, and finally, the ultimate win-win. Think about a traditional debt fight for a second. You're going head-to-head with a massive bank using depreciating fiat currency. It is literally draining. But the SEEP protocol is a totally different beast. It's a highly structured legal and financial pipeline that physically pulls your capital right out of the traditional banking system's line of fire, utilizing physical precious metals and blockchain verification. So step 1, activating the protocol and bringing in the trustee. The absolute biggest mistake people make right off the bat is trying to fight the financial institution all by themselves. Instead of doing that, you actually hire a Lex node operator. By giving yourself the option to hire ApplePro or the Guns of Goldie's trustee to manage a lawful presentation of your settlement, you instantly shift the power dynamic. These guys are certified fiduciaries. They are specifically trained in Uniform Commercial Code and blockchain systems, and they take over the entire administrative burden, acting as your legal shield and your sword. And their very first move, the trustee drops a frustration of purpose notice on the bank. Now, this isn't just some politely worded letter. No way. It is a legally binding anchor that stops the bank's automated collection mechanisms dead in their tracks. The moment that notice hits, boom, your account is legally pushed into what's called sole control status. This is absolutely crucial. The bank can't harass you anymore. They can't just arbitrarily extract your funds. The burden of proof violently shifts back onto them, forcing them to produce verified, lawful proof of claim before a single penny of settlement can proceed. Moving right along to step 2, the 30 to 90-day escrow shield. While the bank is spending the next few months frantically scrambling to provide that verified accounting, what exactly is happening to your settlement money? Well, it definitely isn't sitting in some depreciating fiat checking account where they can grab it. Instead, it gets swept into the DSSPV. That stands for Disputes and Escheated Funds Special Purpose Vehicle. It sounds super technical, I know, but just think of it as an absolute fortress of an escrow bucket. Because it's kept strictly under trust control, your capital is totally protected from unauthorized bank debits or state escheatment while the dispute plays out. The platform's sweep account engine grabs your required settlement funds and drops them right into this shield. But here's the real kicker. It doesn't stay as fiat paper money. It gets converted into physical, fiduciary, vaulted metal. We are talking goldbacks and vaulted silver. Your wealth is now hard, tangible, and totally off the traditional banking grid. Now we hit step 3. And honestly, this is the most fascinating part of the waiting period. Generating dividends and compounding your wealth without fiat. Because that vaulted metal isn't just sitting in a safe collecting dust. The trustee fulfills their fiduciary duty by utilizing ratio playing. Basically, they're making tactical, daily reallocations between your gold and silver exposure. Because the platform is completely insulated from fiat currency risks, they capture the velocity of the metal's appreciation to systematically compound your wealth. Let that really sink in for a second. Your money is actively making money while the legal clock is just ticking away. You are effectively earning dividends without ever relying on fiat interest, all while the bank is completely stressed out trying to do the administrative work of proving their claim. Which brings us to the end of that 90-day waiting period. Section 4. The 2 paths to victory. Time is up, and the bank either has the lawful proof or they don't. We are looking at 2 highly favorable outcomes for you here. Outcome A is the lawful settlement, meaning they actually proved the claim. Outcome B is the ratio play continuation, where the bank fails and the claim gets completely wiped out. Let's break down exactly how you win in outcome A first. If the bank actually manages to produce a verified accounting, the trustee preps the final settlement. You, the client, simply swipe your executive stipend card to fire the gold bullet. This triggers an atomic flash loan, which is a downright brilliant smart contract maneuver. To understand how powerful this is, think about the number $9,280. That represents the immense internal policy value of just a single tokenized goldback when it's used to instantly repay the system's loan. Using this massive internal leverage, the system clears huge debts with tiny fractions of your actual physical metal. So behind the scenes, the smart contract borrows the exact fiat USD the bank needs, pays them off, and instantly repays its own internal loan using those tokenized goldbacks. And because it's an atomic transaction, it executes flawlessly within a single 12-second block. The debt is cleared with lawful money, and the bank is completely satisfied. Right after that happens, you get an indestructible digital receipt called a Settlement Mirror Receipt, SPT. It's a soul-bound token minted straight to the blockchain. It literally cannot be altered, transferred, or deleted. It is absolute, permanent, prima facie evidence that your debt is legally dead.
But what about outcome B? What if the bank completely fails to provide that lawful accounting? Well, the trustee applies what are called waste compensation offsets. They essentially charge the bank up to 3 times the controversy amount just for their administrative waste and illegitimate fees. The result? The lender's claim is completely and legally wiped out.
Since the debt is voided, your entire principal balance that was chilling in the DSPV escrow shield gets swept directly into your premium reserves. You get to keep the metal, you keep all those ratio played gains you made over the 90 days, and the debt is just gone. The funds stay in your precious metals account to compound your wealth indefinitely.
Finally, Section 5, the ultimate win-win. We've gone over the mechanics, now let's talk about the bigger picture. Preventive legal engineering. By forcing the bank to operate strictly on the trust's terms, any unauthorized extraction of your wealth becomes structurally impossible. For you, the debt stress vanishes, and your money actually makes money during a legal dispute. And for the trust, executing these protocols generates verifiable, chain-anchored economic activity that legally proves the Treasury's solvency every single day.
It really is the absolute pinnacle of preventive legal engineering. You aren't sitting around waiting to be sued over a broken deal in a rigged fiat court. You are moving finance to an ex-ante enforcement model, meaning a breach of contract is physically and structurally impossible right from the start.
So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. The tools for your sovereign financial freedom are completely ready. Why are you still playing by the bank's rules when you can structurally neutralize their leverage today? The SEEP Protocol proves debt collection doesn't have to be a trap. By utilizing fiduciaries like Guns of Goldies and anchoring to sound money, you can literally turn a liability into wealth. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, guys. Until next time.